Welcome back, guys.
Welcome to our channel. I'm Paul.
I'm Colin.
So probably you haven't heard from us in a while. Things are
Kind of crazy right now.
crazy, really.
Not only here, but worldwide.
So we've been kind of pulling back on putting any content for you guys.
But we just wanted to give you a little bit of an update of what's been going on with us in the last couple of months.
Hasn't been easy. First of all, of course, we had
My stroke, which was in November. As you can see, I've recovered fairly well. Have a couple of residual issues.
nothing on the motor affecting him, but more on sensory.
More sensory, hearing, and such. But overall,
He's doing good.
I'm pretty fortunate that I recovered as well as I did.
And then the start of this year isn't really doing very well. 2020 is such a big letdown
Oh my God, yeah.
for the rest of the world. So, of course, you've heard about the outbreak that's going on. And actually, I had some issues with my dad. At the start of the year, he's been in and out of the hospital again. And eventually he did pass away.
In the height of the outbreak here.
In the height of the outbreak. So it was really a bad couple of months for the both of us. We actually had to thank everybody who's expressed their sympathy. We know we couldn't do what we originally planned because of the coronavirus outbreak. We have to scale down a lot on the ceremony and the services. So not everybody were able to come. In fact, I have cousins in Northern California, the Bay Area, that wasn't able to come in.
Because they were on a citywide lockdown.
Yeah, even before Los Angeles did, even before we did. So.
But we know that everybody has been with us in spirit as well as in prayer, and that's what kept us all going through this whole thing.
And so we're still under the lockdown, so to speak, if you can say that.
Well, it was a stay-at-home order by the governor and the mayor as per the guidelines from the CDC.
Yeah, so we've been following that social distancing. You know how we're kind of socially distanced together. See?
But as part of that, unfortunately, as an educator, we have no school until, it was just announced yesterday, until the 1st of May. So that's a problem for me.
Yep, and at the same time, I'm also out of work. I work in the health industry, in the dental profession, so it really is, we cannot really treat any patients at this point because when we drill teeth, the aerosols fly away. And the American Dental Association and the California Dental Association has given us guidelines that only to treat patients on an emergency basis, and then only if the office is able to provide proper PPE or the personal protective equipment.
They've also recommended about using peroxide as a rinse, right?
Yes, we're actually doing that peroxide rinse even at home. But so if the aerosols are flying out and you don't have PPE, you cannot really treat a patient. It's really not. I mean, most of the dental offices in the U.S. is not really equipped with a proper PPE, especially with this kind of virus going around. I don't think there's even any N95 masks available.
Everybody's been hoarding supplies. They've been going to the stores like this is the end of the earth, which is
quite infuriating.
It
really.
is.
If you go
It
to a Walmart or a Ralph's and you
the
find
shelves are bare. It's barren,
all gone.
just dust. And I'll tell you, that's not only bad for everybody else because that's being very selfish to everybody else, but it's putting a very big shortage to the health providers, to first responders and all that, because they can't get the gear that they need.
Yeah, we're only allowed to buy 3 boxes of masks on dental offices, and on a usual day we practically probably use 1 box of mask. And then they're also preventing non-medical and dental personnel on buying masks because they're hoarding that too. So if you see online, they're selling them. If you even go online and look at the dental offices, you would see that the prices are like astronomical, which is not really true. It's just preventing non-health personnel in buying those masks. So you don't actually, have to wear masks, really, to be honest with you.
They've been wearing bandanas, they've been wearing scarves. The whole idea is that you need to keep your social distance. It's what, 6 feet, I
About
think,
6
right?
feet.
About 6 feet. Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands.
Yes.
It's disturbing to me to see online how the concept of washing your hands and with soap is kind of like a new concept for a lot of people. Isn't that kind of disturbing to you?
Yes.
That
That's the first thing you should do anyways.
Yeah.
Regardless of,
But wash your hands, keep your distance, stay at home if you don't have to go out. Go out, just get your supplies, get your groceries, come home.
And that's what we've been doing, really. We only go out to buy groceries if we can find one.
Yeah. But remember, there is food. There is
food.
supplies.
There's no
need for all of this
shortage.
craziness.
It's just people hoarding. And in fact, I've seen on Facebook, I could defriended the person because I was so infuriated. So don't post online boxes and boxes of toilet paper behind you and saying,
I've got mine.
I got mine, so
Where's
I'm ready for
yours?
my Netflix.
Yeah.
But it's so infuriating because you don't really need to hoard.
You don't. We need to watch out for each other. And that's one way you could do it. If you do have extras, remember you have neighbors that you could give some to that they probably don't have either. So this is a good time to check up on your neighbors and your family members. Make sure that they've got what they need.
Yeah, and so we're staying home as the CDC health guidelines.
And not feeding into the frenzy.
Yep, and when we go out, we only buy what we need.
Only what we need.
And we've been doing a lot of projects for the house to keep us busy.
Because staying at home you could watch but just so much TV. You have the monotony, you have the boredom. So like everybody else doing little projects, little things, we did too.
We did a lot. First of all, a lot of cleaning the house and throwing out stuff that we don't need, and then we actually moved things around. We
reappointed 3 rooms.
Yep. So we've used some of the rooms and moved things around.
So we made like one of the dens into a cozier family room now.
Which where we're at is one of the bedrooms that we don't usually use. So we put in all the TV and all the
all this stuff.
All this entertainment stuff, so to speak.
Then we turned the what used to be the family room is now a more formalized dining room.
And we put in there, aside from the dining table, we have a bar that we don't usually use.
Well, we have 2 bars. We have a wine cabinet for entertaining, and then we also have a bar for harder liquors. So when we have family over and we have friends over, we have something that we could use to entertain. So we have that in there.
And so now on the kitchen, we've placed a coffee table, which is smaller, but it looks nicer. It gives a more open concept, so to speak.
And then our living room, we just moved some furniture around, moved some other ones out, moved some other ones in. So now it's a little bit more, it's a cleaner look.
Yeah. So we're busy. We're trying to be busy and, prevent us from getting really antsy and bored and not kill each other. No, and one thing about staying at home all this time, 24 hours a day for the last few days, is that you have to be with a person you like. Otherwise, you will just kind of like.
Now, one of the things that we have been doing is that we've been binge watching a lot of different shows that we haven't seen, series, movies, that sort of thing. We've been on Netflix
a lot.
We've also been on.
We've used Tubi,
Crackle,
and Sling,
and Pluto
TV.
So they're all free
we're just
TV.
Yeah, we're just doing all
Netflix is not free, but
free
the other
ones.
ones are.
We just try to access the free content. Of course, Netflix is not, so it's the only one really that we kind of have to pay monthly for. And we're surprised to find really good movies that we've seen back in the 90s that we've actually watching again, like The Talented Mr. Ripley
with Matt Damon.
Yeah, it's Matt Damon and Jude Law and Gwyneth Paltrow. I've forgotten how good this movie was, and so we were able to enjoy that one more time.
A recommendation, 2 thumbs up on that one.
And of course, we've seen the famous Funny Girl by my aunt Barbara.
Babs!
And also Omar Sharif. I've never seen this movie before. I didn't realize some of the most popular songs were in this one. So
like People Who Need People, for example. We forgot that it was actually associated with that movie.
It was great. We loved it. And also, we've seen it's a 90s movie with Harrison Ford.
What Lies Beneath.
It was a great movie too. It was
and also with Michelle Pfeiffer, I think, too. Yeah. So, this is a good chance to look at some of those movies. If you have some recommendations for us to check out, maybe even some sleepers that people kind of forget about, let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, leave us a comment and see what movies you were watching or what you recommend us, and seeing again, or new ones, of course. Netflix always comes out with new TV series and movies. Yeah,
and this is also a good time too to check out all the Oscar-winning movies that just made the list, from Best Actress, Actor, and Best Picture, and so on and so forth.
And what else? What to tell you is that
as you know, we have been planning a cruise now for about 2 years now.
Yep.
To do with Royal Caribbean, doing the Southern Caribbean.
On Freedom on the Seas.
Doing leaving from
Puerto Rico.
From San Juan, Puerto Rico, then St. Thomas, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Barbados, Antigua, and St. Martin.
Yeah, it's the most port intensive ever. I think they've ever come out with sailing,
And this was to celebrate.
Supposedly, it's a milestone for me this year because I'm turning the big 5-0.
Yeah.
But with this event coming out with,
we're not sure
this pandemic,
what's going to be happening with that.
It's all up in the air right now.
All of the cruise lines are not sailing. for a good reason, and this is worldwide. Royal Caribbean came out, I think it was yesterday, saying that they're looking at restarting about May 12th.
31st.
May 12th sailing. So hopefully that will spell good news for us, but we're not sure. We're going to make a determination, maybe like the end of May, beginning of June.
Yeah, so we have a month.
If we're going to cancel or rebook, and
we still wanted to go though. We really
we're determined to continue sailing. This isn't going to deter us from sailing at all.
But at the same time, we want to be safe as well.
Of course, we're not looking at if we have to. We're not looking at canceling, but rescheduling. So, yeah.
I think the Royal Caribbean has sent us emails saying they're allowing, at least for our particular sailing up to July 31st sailings, that they're allowing at least 2 days
48 hours
cancellation prior to your sailing. So we're kind of on a wait and see see how things develop because the usual cancellation for a cruise is about
90 days.
90 or 60 days, something like that.
So that's extremely
as
generous.
As 2 days prior to sailing without any kind of repercussion. And if you actually rebook for another time up to, I think, the end of this year, Colin, then that's going to be a problem.
Well,
and then this year, they actually will give all your money back for that next sailing, plus more onboard credits.
A little bit more. So we're waiting to see how that's going to happen. Each cruise line has a different program, have a different amount that they're giving back, and they're putting onto our onboard credits. So if you're on a cruise, you just need to check with your cruise line as to what they're doing.
Yep, and we're still kind of watching content from various YouTubers on sailing. Of course, some of them are funny because they're running out of content on cruising because nobody's cruising right now. So, shout out to Tony
and Jenny,
who's actually had a series on how their stockpile is doing, like how much
and
toilet paper is.
The toilet paper runs, and Don Terrace of
course, Don Terrace still does a lot
family
of
vacations.
He still does a lot of cruising content. Still,
Ben and David, out of the UK, we're getting some great stuff out of them.
Yep.
And so on. There's some cruising with whales. Shout out to them. They've been doing some good stuff. It's a great community.
All right, I think with that being said, I think we've updated you on what we're up to. We're healthy as far as we know.
Yeah.
We're doing great. There's a lot of concern still with the outbreak. We're just trying to be really safe and deal with it day to day as things change.
So,
and I hope you all guys
stay safe.
Stay safe. Wash your hands a lot.
Make good choices when you're going out. Keep your social distance.
And I think we're going to ride through this and come out in a better world.
I think so. So with that being said, we'll see you next time, and stay safe and
have a good day.
Toodles.
Enjoy. Bye. Bye.